Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace. This right here is the brand new Rode Wireless Micro, a $149 teeny tiny wireless mic system designed specifically for your USB-C or Lightning mobile devices. Now, this is obviously aimed directly at content creators who are out there filming with their iPhones, filming with their Android phones, USB-C on this one, and then again, there's a Lightning version if you have an older iPhone. But they are actually two separate versions, so if you're buying one of these, at checkout, make sure that you're buying the correct one, whether you're looking for USB-C or Lightning. And so we can hear a bit about how this microphone sounds. Let's switch away from my big camera, over to my iPhone, and just let's hear the audio first, just straight out of the iPhone, and then we'll plug this guy in. And before we plug in the Rode Wireless Micro, let's just hear what the audio sounds like out of my iPhone. This is the iPhone 16 Pro. There are those new audio modes in there that I can cycle through to try to isolate my voice a little bit more, but I'm at the beach right now and it is super loud. There's waves behind me, there's wind coming in, there's all sorts of noise here. How well does the iPhone isolate my voice? And of particular note, like why you would want a lav, is that with the iPhone or any camera in general, if I back way up here, now I'm this far away from the microphone, maybe I'm turning around and doing something here, it's going to be super difficult for you to hear that audio when I get that far from the iPhone. Now let's flip over to this, we'll plug this guy in and just hear like why you would want a lav. These cameras on these iPhones are doing such incredible things. Let's step up your audio game with the Rode Wireless Micro. And how does that sound? This is the Rode Wireless Micro now. The audio, so I would have it placed right here. How does the audio sound coming out of this lav? And again, now I can move around, I can be away from the camera a little bit more, whether there's wind and waves going on. This should be isolating my voice way more than the iPhone's microphones are able to, and especially if I was to turn around, do something else over here. And the nice thing too here is that we do have two microphones, so I can have another person, and these are split channel. So right now I'm in the Blackmagic camera app on the iPhone, also why it looks significantly better than a minute ago. But you have one microphone here and then the other microphone here, and right now I have them split channel. So this is my left channel and this is my right channel. Two people can be talking, and then in post I can level them up because I have them on split channels. So all in all, like a really clever little microphone system. You'll see that there is a clip on there. It has one of those, hang on, let me get this clipped on. You'll see it has a clip there so you can clip it onto clothing, but also has a magnet for thin clothing. I always wish these magnets were stronger. The magnet, it's a good magnet, like t-shirts, it's gonna be fine, but like this kind of material, like a sweatshirt, no chance will this magnet hold it on well. It is nice though that just like the DJI Mic 2s, you can click the magnet to the bottom and it'll like stand up on a desk. So if you were at a table and you want to just kind of put one microphone in front of one person, one microphone in front of the other, you didn't want to have to click it onto them, the magnet does act as a little miniature stand. And then battery life on these guys is 6 hours. So 6 hours of battery life built into each transceiver, and then the receiver doesn't have any batteries. It just plugs straight into your phone. It is powered by your phone. Now the nice thing there is that right now I'm filming both of these, so 6 hours total, and these are going to need to be recharged. But if I was filming just one at a time, if I was like going out by myself filming, then I have 6 hours in this one, I have 6 hours in this one, and then the case itself is a charger that gives me 2 additional recharges for each of them. So if you use them both at the same time, 36 hours total, but if you use them offset, does that mean 72 hours? You could potentially have 72 hours of recording if you were just using one at a time. Now I will say one big con here is that the wind screen or the dead cat, it's like a big like loopy bit, like it kind of wraps the whole microphone to go on there, which is fine, like it's nice. I think it works actually really well. We'll do a little test with and without it, but it does not fit in the charging case. So if I put it in the charging, now I can't close my charging case. It's like the one thing that I give Rode Wireless Pros like massive props on, is that I love my Rode Wireless Pros because I can always keep the dead cats, the windscreens on there inside the case, and the DJI Mic 2s, I always have to take the windscreen off. So like with this, Like, this is shockingly small and shockingly convenient, like only a little bit bigger than an AirPods case, but you'll have this in your pocket and you'll have a couple of these sitting in your pocket. Actually, that's a good time for a test. Let's take the windscreen away from one of these microphones. This will now be one channel, and this guy with the windscreen is the other channel. The microphone on here, it has like a microphone screen on top and both sides, which gives us really good like omnidirectional sound, but that might make it more susceptible to the wind here at the beach. Let's test that out while I tell you about today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you don't somehow already know about Squarespace, they are the all-in-one website building platform that I have used for 11 years for my professional photography business. Kind of crazy it's been that long. But the reason that I went with them back in the day was because it was so simple to set up, and now it's even more simple with their Blueprint AI. They're using AI to build you a website. You legit answer like 6 or 7 questions, you pick out a color palette, and then boom, Blueprint AI builds you your website. Then you just swap in your photos and your info, and it's done, like ready to rock website. And the cool thing about Squarespace is that they are all in one. So you can do Squarespace payments through them. With just a few clicks, you are now accepting payments, and you can get your domain through Squarespace domain. So instead of having to go over somewhere else, buy the domain, then transfer it in and do all that, you do everything on Squarespace. The best part is that there is a totally free trial. Shoot over to squarespace.com, go set up your entire website during that free trial, and when you are ready to go live, use code David Manning for 10% off at checkout. I wouldn't say this is like a crazy windy day, but it is like, the wind's blowing. There's some white caps out there. How'd this microphone do without a windscreen on there? Get this clipped back on, because that's easier. Now, another big thing with these microphones, with any of these small, tiny microphones, there's a bunch of them out there now, they don't have internal storage, which means that you are relying on the signal staying strong to your phone or whatever device you have it hooked up to. This signal is the only thing that's transmitting audio to that phone. So if I was to cut out, if that frequency cuts out, you're going to hear it in your final audio. There is no like, oh, well, I'll just use the recording that was on the microphone. Like, this is it. So range matters. Now, this thing says that it has 100 meters of range, which is 328 feet. I always feel like it's absurd to be this far. Like right now, I'm maybe 30 feet from the camera. This already feels wonky. Like, who in the world is recording themselves this far from the camera? There's no way I'm going 328 feet just because I don't want to leave my phone and my bag and all my things. So range on these things, the real reason that you want that much range, like the distance, is more just showing you like how strong the signal is. Because the big deal is that sometimes you might be turning, or maybe a person walks between you and the camera. Maybe I completely turn around. How does the signal sound right now? Right now, I would say I am maybe 60-ish feet from the camera. And if I turn around, does the signal cut out, or is it still there? In theory, because I have 328 feet or 100 meters of range, when I'm only 30 or 40 feet, maybe 10 to 15 meters from the camera, and I turn around, the signal should be strong enough that even if I turn around, I don't cut out from the camera. Now, another big reason to go for the Rode microphones over something like the DJI or the Hollyland is their apps. They have the Rode Central app, they have the Rode Connect app, and the Rode Reporter app. A few apps from Rode that help you to dial in the settings in here, but also create just from your phone. So you don't have to go into your computer, you don't have to do anything else. Everything can be done on your phone. The last big note that I would say, again, this is something just with all of these microphones, is that there's no lav input. So this is the smallest form factor that you can go with this microphone. With the DJI Mic 2, the Rode Wireless Pros, those kinds of mics have a lav input. So I could take the transmitter, and I could put that on my hip, I could run a lav up here, and just a little lav microphone would be peeking out my shirt. Nice thing though is because this is so small, it's not really that big of a deal. They did also mute the Rode-ness a little bit there. It's not so punchy. They made it like gray on dark gray instead of bright white on black. Thanks, Rode. Just in general, Rode's actually really good at audio. In all my tests before, every time I do a side-by-side, all of you guys almost always choose the Rode audio between this mic versus any other microphone. So we'll have to do a little comparison, like this mic versus some of the other tiny mics out there, and you guys can tell me if Rode is still the winner. But for now, a $149 two-microphone system that hooks up directly to your USB-C devices. You guys tell me, what do you think?